Danielle. So today's session we are looking at harvest. So in school tomorrow we would normally be having a harvest assembly and be doing lots of harvest themed and based activities. Okay, so this video is created because obviously we can't come together and do it like we normally would. So this video can be shared in class and at home for those children still at home. So it involves a few different activities that you could do. Lots of songs, okay, and lots of practical getting your hands stuck in activities. So we're going to start the session by playing our hello song like normal. So I hope you've got your drum ready and your bells ready, and if not, remember you can bang your legs or you can just shake your body all out and get loose. Okay, let's go. Hello, hello, can you clap your hands? Hello, hello, can you clap your hands? Can you stretch up high? Can you stretch down low? Can you wave your hands to say hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can you bang your drum? Hello, hello. Can you bang your drum? Can you bang it fast? Can you bang it slow? Can you bang it loud to say hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can you shake your bells? Hello, hello. Can you shake your bells? Can you shake them fast? Can you shake them slow? Can you shake them loud to say hello? Hello, hello, hello to everyone. Hello, hello. Let's have some fun. Right, are you ready? We're going to start our harvest lesson. Right, so as you can see behind me, we've got lots of different harvesty things that we'll be coming to at some point over this video. Okay, but first of all, we're going to warm our bodies up a bit more. I'm going to have a little action song. So the song is called Harvest Time. Okay, so we're going to do a few little actions within it. So the actions are, the first bit is, what do we do at harvest time? So I'm thinking we can just stretch our hands up and say, what do we do at harvest time? What do we do at harvest time? Okay, and then part of it is pick the apples. So I want you to be stretching up, picking those apples out of that tree. Okay, and then the next bit is digging the carrots. So I want you to be digging down, stretching those arms down and bending them at the elbow to dig. And then the last one is gathering the grains. So I want you to stretch out forward, bringing in all those grains, okay, gathering those grains. So the next shot that you'll see is the song with the tune. Okay, we're going to sing it together and hope you can join in with the actions. What do we do at harvest time? Harvest time, harvest time. What do we do at harvest time? Harvest time in the autumn. We pick the apples at harvest time, harvest time, harvest time. We pick the apples at harvest time in the autumn. We dig the carrots at harvest time, harvest time, harvest time. We dig the carrots at harvest time in the autumn. We gather the grains at harvest time, harvest time, harvest time. We gather the grains at harvest time in the autumn. Right, so I hope you managed to join in with the harvest song. Okay, so the next one we're going to involve a little bit of counting and number work. We're going to be singing the song Way Up High in an Apple Tree. Okay, so here I've got my lovely apple tree with my apples smiling down at me, okay? But if you're at home, you could maybe, if you've got 5 apples in your fridge or in your kitchen, you could get those 5 apples and have them on your tray, move them around and try moving one off when they fall down. You could draw some little faces on them if you really wanted. Or you could join in with some of my actions here. So it says, way up high in an apple tree. So you could pretend to be this apple tree. You could have your arms out in different ways, stretching, okay, way up high in an apple tree. 5 red apples smile down at me. So So I want to see your 5 fingers, okay? So then you can see and feel those 5 fingers, holding them up, giving them a wiggle, 5, and obviously it's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. So we can explore those. You could use different hands. Don't just have to stick to the same hand. I shook the tree as hard as I could, okay? So you could shake your body, or you could find something that's really good at shaking, okay? So we can shake that tree. Down came an apple. It was good. Okay, so rub that belly, say try and get those lips making that sound. Way up high in an apple tree. 4 red apples, smile down at me. Okay, so that number's going to go down. Are you ready? So we're going to play my song and you can join in at home.
Way up high in an apple tree. From Autumn Songs by The Learning Station.
Are we ready? Way up high in an apple tree, 5 red apples smiled down at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came an apple, it was good. Way up high in an apple tree, 4 red apples smiled down at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Way up high in the apple tree, 4 red apples smiled down at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came an apple, woo! It was good. Way up high in the apple tree, 3 red apples smiled down at me. 1, 2, 3. Way up high in that apple tree, 3 red apples smiled down at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came an apple, it was good. Way up high in that apple tree, 2 red apples smiled down at me. 1, 2. Way up high in an apple tree, 2 red apples smiled down at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came an apple, it was good. Way up high in that apple tree, 1 red apple smiled down at me. 1. Are you ready? Way up high in that apple tree, 1 red apple smiled down at me. I shook that tree as hard as I could. Down came an apple, it was good. Way up high in that apple tree, no red apple smiled down at me. Well done. So we've got no red apples left in our tree now. We've had them all up. So, after you've had those 5 apples and you've explored them, you could cut them up or puree them up, and you could play with them. You could cut them in half and do some apple printing, okay, on the shape of a tree. So you could get some paint and you could paint a tree, or you could go for a walk outside and get some leaves and make a real sensory tree and some bark, okay, and then you could do some apple printing, cutting the apple in half, getting some red paint or green paint. Well, red would stand out a little bit better, I think. Okay, and you could do some printing with red paint to make some apples, and then you could even put a little smiley face on them and sing your own. Right, so next, normally at school, at this time, we ask you all to bring lots of food in, okay, tinned food and boxes of food, and we create some nice boxes that we put all that food in, and we display them in a nice harvest assembly that we'll have, okay. And then normally we take those food boxes down to the local food bank to help people that need it. So at the minute, obviously, a lot of you can't come out your houses, and passing items between places isn't what we're doing at the minute, okay? So I've got some here, and I thought it'd be a nice idea just to remind people that once this is over and that you might go for a little walk, just to think about those people that do struggle to get food, and to maybe just take even one tin. Okay, just take one tin down to your local food store or to drop it off in our reception at school. Okay, and we can take it down. So it's just a little thought for after all this is over about those people that do struggle to get food, okay, and that can't necessarily have it all the time. So now we've just played the Harvest Samba song, okay, and now you could explore all the vegetables that you're going to be using in our story next. Okay, you might have peppers, potatoes, carrots, onion, any vegetable that you've got in your house. You could explore them before we chop them all up. You could explore the colours, the smells, you could explore size, okay? So just spend a few minutes listening to the full song, exploring all your different vegetables. Right, so now it's time for our story. The story I chose today to do is called Stone Soup. Okay, so you might think, stone soup, really? That doesn't sound very tasty. But listen to the story and it will all make sense. Okay, so listening to the Samba song, we've just explored all our vegetables that we've got, which are going to be included in our story. Okay, so I'm just going to start straight away. Okay, so there was 2 men in our story. Say hello to our 2 men. So the 2 men went to a village. Okay, they went to a village in the mountains and they were really, really hungry and they had no food. So they knocked on a door. Can you knock? Well done. And the door opened. At the door was a man. And the 2 men asked the man, have you got any food that we could eat because we are so hungry? And the man said, no food. And he closed the door. So the 2 men walked to the next house and they knocked on the door. And a lady opened the door. She said, have you got any food that we could eat? We are so hungry. And the lady said, no food. And she closed the door. So the men were getting very sad and they were still really hungry. They walked to the next house and they knocked on the door. Okay. A little boy opened the door. The men said, have you got any food that we could eat? We're so hungry. And the little boy said, no food, and closed the door. The 2 men knocked on every door in the village and every house said no, they had no food to share with them. So the men were very sad and they were still really, really hungry. One of the men had an idea. So they shouted out, has anybody got a big pan we could borrow? Just a pan. We don't need any food. We just would like a pan to use. Then a door opened. And a small child carried out this big pan. There you go. There's your pan. What are you going to do with that pan? The 2 men said, we're going to make the most beautiful, delicious stone soup. And the child looked. Stone soup? Ugh, that doesn't sound very nice. I won't be eating any stone soup. And he went back off to his house. Okay, so now the men had their pan. So if you've got your pan, you could go and get a pan from the kitchen. Okay, you can feel your pan. Bang your pan. If you've got a lid for your pan, you could use it as a drum. Get a spoon. Make as much noise as you possibly can. If you're doing this in the morning, you could wake everybody up in the house. because he shouldn't be asleep. Okay, so the two men had their pan. They've got their magic ingredient, their stone. You could go and get a stone from outside. And they put their stone in the pan. Then they filled their pan up with water and set it off to boil. Okay. So, if you're doing this at home, you could make some vegetable soup and you could eat it later. Okay. So, but remember, take the stone out of the pan first. Okay. Or if you're doing it just as an activity and to explore all these different vegetables, you can leave the stone in there and now you can find that stone in your water. Okay. So you could play with that stone, you could try and pick it up, you could do a big splash and splash everybody around you. Okay. So, back to the story. The two men started to make their stone soup. People all around the village started to come out and ask them what were they making. So the two men said, "We're making the most delicious, beautiful, amazing stone soup to fill our hungry tummies." One of the men then decided to try some of their soup. He said, it's good, but if somebody just had one carrot, it would taste even better. So, a little voice said, "I might have one carrot." And they ran off back to their house and brought the men one carrot. So the men started to peel their carrot. And then they chopped their carrot up. And then they put it in their water. The other man then started to mix that carrot in with their stone. So at this point, it'd be nice to smell your carrot. Okay, you can play with all the shavings from the grated carrot, and if you're not eating it, you could try and find those pieces of carrot in your water. Okay, at the minute it's really easy to find those pieces of carrot, but later on when we've got lots of other vegetables in there, it might be a little bit harder. Okay, so next, one of the men tasted their soup. Now it had their one carrot in. It's good, it's better, but if somebody just had one potato, it would be even better. Then a lady at the back of all the people in the village said, "I might have one potato." So she ran back off to her house and brought the men a potato. One of the men started to peel that potato. And then he chopped it up into lots of little pieces. I'm going to do some chopping. You could pretend to do some chopping here, or while your mums and dads did the chopping, you could play with all the shredding and you could smell it all. Okay, get it in between all your fingers. And do some chopping, and you could do some pretend chopping, couldn't you? And once it's chopped, you could plop it in the pan. Okay, so we could chop up one bit, and then you could put it in the pan. Yeah, in the water, and then once it's all in the water, it needs a really good mix. So if you're eating this soup afterwards and you're taking your stone, use your spoon and you can stir it all together so it's all cooking nicely together. If you're doing this soup just to play with and to join in with the story, get your hands in that pan and mix it all up. And now see if you can find that carrot. Oh, no, I found a piece of potato. Let's try again. See if I can find a piece of carrot. I can find the carrot. Here we go. So don't forget, somewhere in that pan is your stone. At the minute it might be easy to find your stone, but later on I think it's going to be harder. Right, so one of the men tried their soup. It's nice, but if somebody had an onion, it would be even better. Then a man stood next to the other man, said, I might have one onion you could use. So he ran off and he brought them a nice big onion. Oh, wow, look at that. So the men chopped up the onion, they peeled the skin off. Peel, peel, peel. And they chopped up their onion and put it in. Okay, so again you can mix with your spoon in the pan, or you can get your hands in and mix it all together. You might notice as well that your potatoes sinking to the bottom, but all the onion is staying at the top and floating on top of the water. Okay, see if you can find your stone in that pan then. Right, so after that, everybody from the village ran and all brought the men another vegetable. Some bought spring onion, some bought peppers, some brought more potatoes and more carrots, broccoli, lots and lots and lots of vegetables, and the men chopped them all up and added them all into the pan and gave them a really good mix together. Soon the smell of the soup was going through all the village, and all the people in the village came out to see what was going on. The men tasted the soup and said, oh, that was so nice. They had made the most beautiful, amazing, scrumptious soup ever, with the help of everybody in the village. So at the beginning of the story, everybody in that village said, no, we don't have any food for you, and they shut the door in the men's face. But once they found out they were making this special soup, everybody actually shared their food, and they all came together to help make and mix this amazing, beautiful soup. Okay, so like I said before, after all this is over and you can go out your house, it might be nice if you could just take one item down to your local food bank, and that would really, really help somebody else out. And you would know then that you had helped somebody else. Okay, so that's our story finished. So afterwards you could play with your soup and carry on playing with it, or you could cook it all up and have some nice soup. But remember, take the stone out. So I hope you enjoyed that story, and maybe you could try making your own stone soup at home. Right, next I'm going to sing one more song that we can do some actions to again and really cool down. Okay, so the screen's going to change, the song's going to be on, and you can join in with it. The wheels on the tractor go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the tractor go round and round, busy for the harvest. The spades on the farm go dig, 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 dig. The spades on the farm go dig, 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 busy for the harvest. The people on the farm go pick, 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 pick. The people on the farm go pick, 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 busy for the harvest. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this little video all about harvest. All that's left to do now is to turn the lights off. We're going to put our sensory lights on and we're going to relax and wind down from all that hard work that we've done making that stone soup and doing all our songs and our action songs.
We're getting